Welcome back, everyone. So today in this video I'm going to show you how to make this drop chute mob pusher. So the purpose of this drop chute is to make a wider opening for your mobs to fall down into your kill chamber, and then this will detect when mobs are there and push them into the center 2x2 for your Trident killer. Another benefit of having this is that you can run columns through the middle where you can have a Redstone Torch tower, which you can use to turn on and off your farm. And an example of that is this, where we have target blocks on opposite ends. Red block will indicate stopping the farm, green would indicate starting. You'll shoot an arrow, throw a trident with loyalty at this target block. This piston will move this redstone block here on top of this. This light will turn on to indicate that the farm is on. It'll send the power through, and then it will invert this redstone torch here, which is powering this repeater, which causes this whole torch tower to invert. So that's one thing that you can do with this. You can also have it where you don't have a center column. And also the center column for your regular mobs can be used as a guide so they don't fall directly into the Trident killer. So they push up against this and fall straight down, take the fall damage, and then get pushed into the center. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to make this. You can make this for either the industrial type Trident killer that I have, or you can make it for the regular one. But really, I think you should be using this on the industrial, but the choice is yours. And then this is how it looks by itself. This is the unit where it just push the mobs in. So we're using a Sculk Sensor. You can use calibrated, but I just find it easier just to use a regular Sculk Sensor. It'll just detect any movement up here and push them to the center 2x2. Alright, so let us begin. I'll be right back. And we're back. So, what I have in front of me is my industrial Trident killer. There's a tutorial on my channel if you're interested. This is a more up-to-date revision of it. So there's a few things that are a little bit different. In particular, there's a self-starting mechanism down here with the calibrated Sculk Sensor. So it'll detect when mobs get hurt. And that'll make sense once I have the drop chute and mob pusher built on top of this. Anyway, let's go back up. These are the materials that you will need. I'm going to try to keep this, I'm going to keep this to overworld only stuff. And yes, that does include the comparator. You can find this in ancient cities in the overworld. But the full material list will be in the description. So we want to get to the top of our Trident killer right now. So this is only 4 blocks tall from the standing level right there. I'm gonna get some solid blocks. We're gonna just do a row around. So you should have something like this. Now just choose a corner, doesn't matter which one. Go to the corner, and then we're gonna go one off to the right of that corner, and we're gonna put our pistons down. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're gonna put 4 more on top of them, like so. And we're just going to keep repeating that. So we'll go to the corner, go to the right, put 4 pistons down, 4 on top of them, and we'll just repeat that. After you've done that, you might be like, oh, I'm trapped. Well, if you follow the guide on make this Trident killer, there'll be a door you can jump down and just walk out and then get back up here. So now we're just going to fill in these corners with solid blocks like so. Now let's go to our Trident killer's on and off switch right here. I tend to like to have my on and off mechanism for the mob pusher on the right hand side. So I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to use a marker block to identify this is where I want it to be. So I'm going to leave it over there. Now let's start right here in the front. Let's get a solid block. We're going to go to this lower left piston here. To the left of that, we're going to put a solid block. Underneath it, we're going to put a solid block. And above it on this piston, we're going to put a solid block. And then towards the right, behind these 3 pistons, we'll put solid blocks like so. And we're going to repeat this on this side, and this side. So again, we're going to go to the lower left piston, solid block to the left of it, solid block underneath, solid block above, 3 solid blocks to the right. Now that we have that done, let's build up our corner a little bit more. So we'll go up by 2 for now. And then we're going to put in glass in between, or you can put solid blocks. The choice is yours. Now let's go back to our on and off switch for the Trident killer, which will be the front. Let's get some slabs. Now we want to put slabs on this glass here, and they're going to be upper slabs. We're going to put slabs here, 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 and here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So they should be 1 block above the upper pistons, and they should be upper slabs. Now we're going to do that for this side, and this side, but we're not going to do it for this side. So again, upper slab, 1 block above this second piston, and we're going to do 4 like that. Okay, let's go back to the front. Now let's get a repeater. Put a repeater on this solid block right here that's to the left of this lower left piston. Have it facing into this block and leave it on 2 ticks. We're going to do that for all of them. So even this side, repeater, 2 ticks, face into the solid block. Let's go back to the front again. Now we're going to get some redstone dust. We're going to put redstone dust on this block, these blocks, this block on top of it, and then we're going to put it on these slabs up here. And we're going to do that for all sides, including this side, even though this doesn't have slabs. So you won't put any redstone slabs up there, but you put redstone there, here, and here. Alright, let's go back to the front. So what we just did is when this repeater gets powered, it'll power this piston, and also at the same time it'll power the remaining pistons, and then also send the signal to the next repeater here, so we're going to just repeat the process. Now what we're going to do is get some temporary blocks. Get your sticky piston and redstone block. Let's put a temporary block here. We're going to put a sticky piston facing down, so the redstone dust should go directly into the sticky piston and the redstone block underneath it like so. We're going to do that on all corners. Now we have that done. While you're up here, you could probably put like glass or slab on top of these pistons. So. And then we're going to bring this up by additional 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And again, fill in the middle with either glass or solid block. Oh, and one thing, while we're in here, sometimes, because we're going to be using, if you use a Sculk catalyst in conjunction with this, sometimes the mobs might fall on this upper pistons here and die, and it might cause Sculk veins to go up. So to avoid that, we're going to use signs. You can also use buttons, but I like using signs here. And then the signs will prevent the Sculk veins from forming past the pistons. Now let's go back to the front of our Trident killer again. So now you just want to double check everything's correct. All your repeaters are on 2 ticks. There's redstone dust on all the slabs and blocks. Once we verify that, we're going to go over to the side, which will be our on and off switch for the mob pusher here. So now we want to get our wool. We're going to go a block above where this piston is, and then 3 blocks away. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3. This will be the 3rd block. We're going to put a wool right here. We're going to put our Sculk Sensor on top of this wool, like so. We're going to put a wool here, wool in front of it, wool behind it, like so, to the side, and then we're going to put one more wool right here. And then we could put either a button or a sign here, and this is to prevent water from flowing out, because we're going to waterlog this so it doesn't make any noise, and I don't have a water bucket with me. So now it's quiet when it detects the signal. So you can get rid of this wool here too if you want, just to save on wool. And then we're going to put a temporary block there if you got rid of the wool. 3 more wools right here. We're going to get the comparator. Have it facing this way. It'll read from the Sculk Sensor. Put a wall in front of it or a solid block, choice is yours. We get a redstone torch, put it on top of this block, put another block above it. Then we get our slab. We're going to put a slab, an upper slab at this redstone torch like that. We're going to put 2 slabs here. And then right here on this block, we're going to put a sticky piston. Like so, and we're going to put a solid block underneath it like so. Now we're going to run a redstone on these 2 slabs, which will cause this sticky piston to push downward like so. Now we can also either use wool, solid blocks, slabs, whatever you want. Right there, we're going to put a repeater face into this block. It's going to be on 1 tick, and then a redstone dust like so. So this will start your system. So to test it, you can walk somewhere and they should all move like that. And just test. Make sure it can hear you from all sides. Now that that's done, we can just put glass or slabs on top of this. And now something to keep in mind, if you have your water stream for where your mobs come from a little too low, this might hear, so you might have to put a wall above this. So just keep that in mind. So for the most part, that's done. But now say if you have, say for example, a gold farm, such as this one, where the on and off for the portal breakers are at the top, but you're at the bottom, so you need a way to send the signal up. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to go back to the top of this. We're just going to do another row around with solid blocks. As you see, the system heard that. Like so. And that probably made it a little too tall, but that's fine. Next thing we're going to do, since we're going to be standing here, this is where our on and off switch. We're going to make the on and off switch for, say, for example, the portal breaker right here. So I'm going to go to either this block or this block, one of these center blocks here. I have slabs coming off of it, so I'm gonna do 3 slabs. No, that may be too far out. 2 slabs, like so. Put redstone dust on it, and then on this solid block here, we're gonna put a redstone torch, like so. Next thing we're gonna do is come back in here, and depending on how tall the mobs that you're putting in here are, if they're 2 blocks tall, you'll put solid blocks at 3 blocks tall right here. If they're mobs are 3 blocks tall, you put the solid block at 4 block height. So we're just going to build up here, and this would be the center of your Trident killer. So we're going to build up to about this redstone torch here. Get a repeater, place it down, and put a solid block in front of it. And this is where we can begin our torch tower. So I'm not going to build it too tall. This is just for demonstrations purposes. So and then of course you'll build up your sides. Like so, and then fill in the center with either glass, because I like seeing the mobs fall down. Okay, once we've done that, we can come back out here. Let's get a redstone lamp, which can also be found in the ancient city. We'll put it right here in front of these slabs here. And then let's get some color blocks. So I'm using red and green concrete. I'm gonna have my on switch for this on the right hand side and the off switch on the left hand side. And let's get 2 target blocks. Put target block here and here. Now, for our on switch, the green side, we're going to put our regular piston on top of this target block. I'm going to have it facing inward like this. Put a redstone block in front of it, like so. And then on this side, for the off switch, we're going to put the piston on the red block here. Like so. And then redstone dust on top of the target block like so. And if you want, you can also cover this as well. And that's your drop chute and mob pusher complete. So how does this work now? Let's get a trident. Like I said, any projectile. So if you throw it at this, it'll turn the system on. This redstone lamp is to indicate whether or not the system is on. And as you can see, it turned this redstone lamp up there on. And then we can also turn it off. And this lamp turns off. And then when mobs fall down here, the sensor will hear them, push them in here, and then the Trident killer will do the rest. Anyway, thank you all for watching, but until next time, take care.